Hello people, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, this is going to be my review slash reaction to Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. I watched it earlier today. I was so lucky to be able to have the day off today so I could get a really early screening of it. Please keep watching, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you're new to my channel then why not subscribe to join my little magical corner. Okay, let's get on with it. So, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. It begins in America. It starts with Grindelwald in prison and he's going to be transferred to another prison. So they put up all of these precautions. There are people, auras, like guarding him. He's in this carriage with the Thestrals. That's where the Thestrals are. And they're taking him to another prison. But there's that twist. It wasn't Grindelwald in the carriage. As soon as that guy, the other guy who ended up being Grindelwald, as soon as he whipped his wand out, the Elder Wand, I was just like, well, that's Grindelwald. Who's that guy in the carriage then? They've obviously done the whole switcheroo with a bit of Polyjuice potion or something. And so, yeah, that's how he escapes, because we were all wondering, how is he going to escape? And then I think we end up with Newt. He's been banned from travelling internationally, but Dumbledore wants him to go to Paris, but he's banned from travelling internationally, but he goes anyway, which is why he ends up being a wanted person in Paris. A few little surprises. He didn't actually stay in contact with the Goldsteins and with Jacob, and he didn't actually know that Jacob wasn't completely obliviated. Tina and Jacob are together, which is great, but she puts him under enchantment. There's these laws where magical people can't marry muggles, no mages, non-magic people. And yeah, one of the theories I really liked and really started to believe before I watched it was that Queenie was going to turn to the dark side, was going to turn to Grindelwald's side, and yeah, she did. And it was because she wanted something that she couldn't have on the good side. She wanted to be able to live freely and openly with Jacob and marry him. So that's why she turns to his side. So yeah, I wasn't massively surprised about that. I did think that was going to happen because I thought that was a really good theory. Most of the film, when it comes to Credence, was finding out who his family were, and it was heavily hinted that he was related to the Lestranges, and Lita Lestrange was all like, no, my brother's dead, it can't be him, but how can you be so sure about it? And when she tells the story, it's like, oh, okay, so who the hell is Credence then? So he's not actually a Lestrange. But we're going to get to that bit later on, because I'm getting way ahead of myself right now. We go back to Hogwarts. We knew this anyway, but the greatest thing about the scene, setting the scene in Hogwarts, that montagey bit, was the fact that they played original Harry Potter music, and it was just like, yes, we are so back at Hogwarts. That was great. That was so great. So while we're there, Dumbledore is teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts, but as we know, Dumbledore ended up teaching Transfiguration, but he was banned from teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts, and that's why he became the Transfiguration teacher. But then you'd think by the end of it, was that lifted, or did he just carry on teaching Transfiguration? What did McGonagall teach? McGonagall, by the way, McGonagall's in it. McGonagall is in it. She's not only in the 1927 time, but she's in the past, when we go back in time to when Newt's at school and we find out what his boggart is. We knew that anyway. McGonagall was born in 1935. This film is set in 1927. How the hell is McGonagall teaching at Hogwarts? So my only thing is that maybe it's her mother, maybe? But yeah, that was all a bit of a confusion. Like, how the hell is McGonagall there? She wasn't even born yet. I don't know if that's even going to be cleared up. But then you think, well, why did he mention McGonagall? He kept saying, go with McGonagall, go with McGonagall. Are we going to find out who this McGonagall character is? It obviously can't be Minerva McGonagall, but that was just like, I was watching it, I was like, but McGonagall's not born yet. McGonagall's not born yet. How is this happening? Theseus Scamander and Lita Lestrange are a couple. They work at the Ministry. They want Newt to become an Auror, and I'm just like, well, why is Newt such an important person? Why do they want him to be an Auror so much? Is it because of the events of what happened in the first film? Because he technically was the one who captured Grindelwald in the first film? Is that why they want him to be an Auror? That pendant, Grindelwald's pendant. Okay, I'm sorry, all of these things that are just popping out of my head, they're just going to be completely in no particular order, just completely random, so I'm sorry about that if you're getting confused. But that pendant, I saw it being sold on Noble Collection. It looks very pretty. It's sold as Grindelwald's pendant, I believe. As far as I know, we didn't know what it was about, and then we find out it is the result of a blood oath between Dumbledore and Grindelwald, and that's why Dumbledore can't go against Grindelwald because he made that blood oath. And that bit when they're in the Mirror of Erised and they do that blood oath bit, the hands are like this and then they go like that, and it's just like, that is all of the gay representation we need from Dumbledore. That is all we need. It's not about Dumbledore being in love with Grindelwald. We know he is. That was all we needed to explain that. So they made a blood oath. They were best friends. They were like brothers. Well, no. They were more than brothers. They were in love. Yeah, they made a blood oath never to defeat each other. Right at the end, Dumbledore is asked if he can destroy the blood oath, and Dumbledore's like, I don't know, maybe. I'm thinking, yes, he does, because there's still that massive battle in 1945. So obviously he does end up destroying the blood oath, because they do end up battling. We know that. We've known that since Philosopher's Stone, for goodness sake. Ariana Dumbledore is mentioned, and that just brought me back to Dumbledore thought he might have killed her. He's not sure if he killed her or not. But then that kind of confused me, because weren't Dumbledore and Grindelwald dueling, and that ended up being the result of Ariana's death? So if they made that blood oath, how were they fighting to end up Ariana's death? Or was that not canon? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure Dumbledore's biggest heartache with his sister is because he doesn't know if he did the spell that ended her life, but then maybe could they have done the blood oath after her death? I don't really know. Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. So yeah, we find out that black guy who was after Credence, he was after him because he made an unbreakable vow. I'm assuming with his father. He had an unbreakable vow to get rid of Credence. He is a Lestrange. He is related to Leta Lestrange, and then everyone thinks that Credence is his brother, but he's not. But yeah, that is the biggest bombshell, isn't it? That is the biggest bombshell. I don't even want to say it out loud, just in case we find out which magical family Credence is related to right at the end of the film, and I don't even want to say it out loud. For me, personally, I just think, holy crap, how, when, why, what? How could that be possible? Does the character who he's related to know? Please close your ears if you don't want to hear this bit. Credence is related to Dumbledore. He is a Dumbledore. That whole scene at the end with Credence and Grindelwald, when he's holding that little creature in his hand, yeah, I had no idea, by the way, that that was a phoenix. I should have guessed. But like, you saw him holding this creature at the beginning and you think, well, didn't think anything of it at the time. But when Grindelwald kind of picked it up, or whoever picked it up, and kind of threw it in the air and it transformed into this big fiery flame thing, at that moment I thought, is that a phoenix? And then I was remembering what Dumbledore said at the beginning about how phoenixes tend to come to the Dumbledores. It's always been a part of their bloodline that phoenixes always come to them. And I was just like, but if that's a phoenix, then that means he's related to Dumbledore. And then when he said it at the end, I was like, holy shit, no. How? I don't know. That is the biggest shock for me. I am so excited to find out how he is related to Dumbledore, and if Dumbledore knows, and if Dumbledore ever finds out, and what happens if they find out, and does Credence die? Is that Phoenix that we saw in Crimes of Grindelwald, is that Fawkes? Is it Fawkes? I don't know. It's just, there's so many things. I think originally we may have thought that the Maledictus Nagini was evil, but it turns out she's actually on the good side. When she becomes evil, I guess we won't know for a while. So yeah, it wasn't surprising for me that Queenie turned to Grindelwald. It also didn't surprise me that Credence turned to Grindelwald. That whole thing with Queenie though, the whole reason she turned to Grindelwald is so that she and Jacob could be together, but Jacob didn't want her to. And it was almost as if by her turning to Grindelwald, it meant she lost Jacob. So what was the whole point in her turning to Grindelwald if she can't be with him on that occasion either? But yeah, I'm sure there's loads of other little details other people have picked up on and remembered more than other things that I have, and you're probably just like, well, why haven't you mentioned this? It's because I've forgotten, okay? Write down in the comments anything else that I've forgotten to mention. And only watching it once, it doesn't give you enough time to kind of like take everything in and remember every little detail. Nicholas Flamel, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Nicholas Flamel, we knew he was going to be in it, but we didn't know what part he would play. We see the Philosopher's Stone. He opens a cupboard to get a book out, and just in that little corner corner, there's the Philosopher's Stone. But isn't Nicholas Flamel such a sweet little man? It is kind of surprising, by the way, that he's so frail. I mean, we knew that anyway from the second trailer. But he is so frail, and yes, I know he's over 300 years old, or 600 years old, whatever it is. But you'd think, being immortal, he'd be stronger, he wouldn't be as frail? I don't know. It's an emotional roller coaster. It is. I can't wait till I can watch it again. I'm looking forward to watching theory videos, mainly from Seamus Gorman and Super Carlin Brothers. Okay, one more thing. A few more magical beasts, like that massive Chinese creature. The eyes just lighting up when Newt's like shaking that little thing. It's like, oh, you're so cute. Kappa. We see a Kappa. That excited me because we've only ever heard of Kappas in the Harry Potter books, in the Goblet of Fire, I think it is. No, it could be Prisoner of Azkaban. And we actually get to see a Kappa and see what that looks like, which is really cool. I'm looking forward to more of those things happening, like all the magical creatures that were mentioned in the Harry Potter books that we haven't yet seen on screen. I look forward to seeing more of them in the future. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there now because my battery's actually dying and I don't know how long this video is going to go on for. If you enjoyed the film as much as I did, leave a massive thumbs up. Do it anyway, because that'd just be awesome and means a lot to me. Write down your own theories or anything in the comments below. I will reply to absolutely everyone. I just want to get a massive discussion going on. I'm so excited about this film, about this whole series, about this whole universe even. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, then please don't forget to subscribe to join my little magic corner. I make videos every single week, so come subscribe to join the fun. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.